Talk say time no dey aside oh. Say for her work they quick they dark you. And I go love her till I die go. But our hearts don't turn to stone. The man say market no dey sell. Everything he cost he pass before. But our governor he fight he pass before. One day my turn will come to chop. The ball.
A beautiful afternoon to the good people of Ifako-Ijaiye, Lagos, Nigeria, and wherever you're watching and listening from in the globe. And this is a feedback. And the feedback is coming from the office of the Member House of Representatives, Ifako-Ijaiye local government, no other office than that office of Honorable Benjamin Adeyemi Olabinjo, popularly known as BAO. And we have a guest that will be speaking from that office this afternoon in the studio here with us. And before I introduce him, do well to follow us on Facebook. It is Ifako Radio, on Instagram, Ifako_radio, on YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, WhatsApp channel, and TikTok. It is also Ifako Radio. And I am yours truly, Olanereti Olusegun, the mayor of Lagos City. Yes, we have in the studio with us the personal assistant to Honorable Benjamin Adeyemi Olabinjo, member House of Representative, former council boss of Ojokoro LCDA, former cabinet member at the Lagos State government. He was the special advisor on civic engagement. He at another time occupy another office. He served that is a commerce and I think a special advisor, the Ministry of Commerce. Yes, that is Honorable Benjamin Adeyemi Olabinjo. So he's a PA. He's here as a member of House of Reps now, and we have Mr. Sheyi Oluwaseyi. As nice to have you with us, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's looking good, and we believe it's a wonderful and pleasant weekend.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
She talk say time no dey aside oh. Say for her work they quick they dark you. And I go love her till I die go. But our hearts don't turn to stone. The man say market no dey sell. Everything he cost he pass before. But our governor he fight he pass before. One day my turn will come to chop. The politicians say know the truth. Say nobody won't hear the truth. He take power, take bulletproof. Buy properties overseas. No we create the world. No you create the world. We dey point the finger at each other, oh. But no we create the world. And they always they like to take my time, oh. But I dey waste the people time, oh. My plan is good, my method harsh, oh. Everybody they talk say I too do. They always they like to save yourself, oh. To avoid the mistake of the past, oh. You know they ever fit forget, oh. The people wait for your hand before. No you create yourself, oh. No you create myself, oh. We dey point the finger at each other, oh. but no be we create the world. Everybody wants something. Everybody don't forget. Say now our word and now our action. And they shape reality.
Yes, Mr. Ashley. Let's get started this way. We want feedback. The good people of Ifako-Ijaiye wanted to have a clear understanding of what is really happening. They voted a man they so much believe in to go and represent them at the National Assembly. And it's over 2 years now that he has been in office. We're talking about Benjamin Adeyemi, all having the journey so far. How has it
Okay. Thank you very much for that question. Honorable Benjamin Adeyemi Olabinjo is a man that I call an angel that has been sent to the people, the good people of Ifako-Ijaiye. Because on June 13, 2023, they were officially sworn into the House of Representatives in Abuja. But in that 2023, that year was mad with so much challenges that he had personal challenges. But even at that, he was still able to ensure that the dividends of democracy are enjoyed by the people of Ifako-Ijaiye. Not minding these challenges, I remember in the year 2023, even though he didn't have any impact, any project that had been submitted in the budget of 2023. He still tried so much to at least use his personal relationships and connections to at least bring some form of empowerment, to train. In November 2023, we were able to train at least 130 youths and women on various vocational skills with a startup grant, you know. So that was for the year 2023, and then going into the year 2024, there had been so much. Shortly after he was sworn in, you would remember that the Lagos Abeokuta Expressway was in a very, very terrible state. It was affecting businesses, it was affecting a lot of things. People were losing their lives and all that. He used his good office to, advocate by moving a motion in the House of Representatives for that road to be immediately fixed. And to the glory of God, if you go to that road today, you would find that that road has been fixed all the way down from Abule down to Songo. The journey so far, if you look at all of the things that we've been able to do, as of today, yeah, Honorable Olabinjo has only spent 2 years
okay?
and 3 months. In fact, it's not even up to 3 months. By the end of September, it will be 2 years and 3 months. Yeah, I can say 2 years and 3 months because it was September 13th, 2 years and 3 months. You would realize that in that short period, we've been able to provide a lot. We've been able to facilitate about 400 solar street lights.
Wow.
We've been able to train over 250 youths and women also on various vocational skills.
But a lot of people will object to this, stating that all these things are sectional.
I do not agree with those who say these things are exceptional because the proof is there. These things are out there. I do not want us to begin to talk about politics, even though we cannot put aside politics. We just do not want to politicize anything because we know that these are the actual dividends of democracy that people should enjoy, and the records are there. The records are there. If you go online, even right now, you would see that many of the things that we've done in 2024 December, you remember nothing of we had the first bio mega empowerment, and if you check the history of the Ifako-Ijaiye constituency, that had never been in existence. If you go check some of the things that was done at the empowerment last year, about 130 people got generators to at least support. So basically, the empowerment was to support micro and medium enterprises. So you'd see people who are fashion designers, people who are hairdressers, people who are, even up to the women grinding pepper in the market. You would find many of them who benefited. We even up to you now go to so when we take out even the micro and medium enterprises, you go to schools, you would notice even in this short period, we've been able to facilitate the construction of a six block classroom with solar street lights, solar lights installed even in these schools. If you check majority of the junior secondary schools in the Ifako-Ijaiye, many of them have been, you would find solar street lights installed, and also some of our police stations, so as to enhance security. A lot has been done within this period, and I can assure you that the records are there. And these things are visible.
Talking about beneficiaries of these empowerments that you've enumerated so far, how do you select those beneficiaries?
So we use the word structure. So we go to each words that we have. This is more like the easiest way for us to be able to ensure that whatever is coming
geographical arrangement,
you understand. So we use the word structure. We go by each word and try to get residents of this our constituency, to pick a few people from there. We might not be able to touch everybody at once, but we ensure that it goes around. So when we attend to some people today, by the time the next empowerment or any program comes up again, we ensure that it goes round. So aside the word structure, we also use some organizations in our community, like the Christian Association, the Muslim community, the Youth Association, and a host of other societies and organizations in our
I don't know if your office at any time reach out to the community development community.
Yes. We also use the CDC is a very very key aspect of the MHR.
I raised that question because they uphold whatever has to do with
because
the development.
they are closer to the people, and even the CDC earlier this year, a seed fund was donated to the CDC earlier this year. I think about 5 million naira was donated to the CDC to aid projects within the community. The CDC is more like those who are closest to the people.
What is the relationship of the office of the MHR with the traditional leaders?
The office of the traditional leaders, like I mentioned also, so whenever we come up with projects and empowerment programs and all that, we reach out to them. Without these people, we might not be able to, go into the communities. We ensure that. So even the office of the MHR has those we call the liaison officers. We call them the liaison officers. About 78 or 80 of them who are even on the payroll of the MHR monthly. Wow. So we reach out to them. We ensure that this liaison officers covers. We have people from all walks of life. The organizations, the world, like I mentioned.
Sure that you select politicians.
No, it's not based. It's not
because people have been complaining that most of the things that politicians
it's not solely
politicize.
Yes, it's not solely politicians. So you see the traditional rulers. When you see the traditional rulers, you know that they are not members of any party.
Okay, are you saying you have traditional leaders as liaisons?
Yes, we do have traditional leaders. Some parlors are even a part of the liaison officers. We try and ensure that we relate to them If there is anything coming from the government, we relate to them even before we relate with them even before these things go out. Because to be honest, the MHR might not be able to reach everybody individually. But with these liaison officers from people from the CDC, the world, and all of that, we
Okay,
relate
you
to
also
them.
have them across the world.
Yes, we have
The 14 wards of the federal
yes,
constituency.
yes.
All right. Earlier you said that for viewers and listeners at home, you can join the program by calling in on 091-2222-7433 for contributions, comments, suggestions, or questions, or even you want to clarify anything. Mr. Sheyas and the PA to the member House of Representatives is here. Earlier, you said something about the projects and no, the empowerment.
Yes,
You said it took place 2024,
yes,
December 2024, and you said such a feat has never happened in the local government before. Are you saying there has never been empowerment program?
I'm not saying there had never been empowerment,
Okay.
but I'm saying of that magnitude. BOW is, if you remember when I started, I said Honorable Alabinjo is one that some of us categorize as an angel who is sent to the people of Ifako-Ijaiye. I know of the time that we were working on a project in the office. We were trying to bring some things out. We were just looking at how to do it. And I remember in his words exactly, he said it in Yoruba, and make sure we empowerment, the empowerment of people. He's somebody who has the interest of the people at heart. Most especially, those who I do not want to call them those at the bottom of the pyramid. He just wants to ensure that everybody benefits, everybody is fine, everybody enjoys the dividend of democracy. So if you look at the empowerment, I repeat again and I start to correct that nothing of such had ever happened.
So you're saying it was massive?
Yes, it was. That is why you remember that we call it mega empowerment, because even students benefited. I was going to mention that students benefited. Schools, desk chairs, school bags, and a lot of things. To not just that we are empowering their parents alone economically, we try to ease the burden on the parents. So school bags, books, and some books, school bags, sports equipment were donated to schools. This would also have an impact. So if we're empowering the parents to say, oh, go start a business with this, we are also helping in taking care of some of their needs as per giving some of their children school bags and books for their education.
All right. No doubt. Earlier you said he's someone you categorized as an angel.
Yes.
Quoting him to have said empowerment cannot be too sufficient. Now, a lot of people allegedly said members House of Reps got at least cash to the tune of 1 billion naira. Are you saying there's justification to this 1 billion naira that the office of the MHR, your principal, has collected in correlation with the empowerment that has been done? So
that statement that House of Representatives members got 1 billion naira cash. It's a very laughable statement, and the reason is this.
And maybe it wasn't cash. Maybe it was so sad.
So I remember saying it in the forum recently that the job of a legislator is basically to legislate, to make laws. Now, empowerment projects and all that basically are more like oversight functions. So they are closest to the people. They are seen as those who are closer to the people. Aside the local government and all that, they are closer to the people. So they are the ones who go to the federal government and try to influence and facilitate projects to assist the other arms of government. So what they are doing is more like an oversight function. And I can say it categorically that no House of Reps honorable will get cash or even transfer, like you mentioned, from the. So what? So what?
The word cash is what is laughable.
No. So what they get? So when we talk about constituency project and all that, is when the budget is being, members are asked to say, okay, what are those things that you want to do for your people? When the appropriation bill is being put together, members are asked, okay, what are those things that you want to do with? What are those things that you want to do for your people in the coming year? So, okay, maybe to the tune of projects or whatever it is that they're able to influence might be what they are talking about, but the honorables get cash, and that is not.
And what are you doing to educate or further enlighten people that belong to that school of thought?
Well, our media team has gone ahead to, if you, for those who would care to listen, our media team has gone ahead to start to, educate people, even not just our own media team, generally, the National Assembly also has been doing a lot of things, to, enlighten.
Because as a matter of fact, some members of National Assembly were quoted to have said that, and on social media, you see statements and videos.
I would not want us to go into the politics that goes to playing as per those issues, but I can assure you and I can tell you categorically that no honorable member or senator gets cash.
Okay, so but they get materials to that effect.
They influence and try as much as possible to facilitate projects.
All right. Still on that acclaimed mega empowerment 2024. Some people hitherto are still saying they've not gotten what you qualify them for, most especially in the area of cash.
Okay, so we had two batches when we had the empowerment last year. The first batch had been taken care of. And like I mentioned also, if you remember that I mentioned that it's not like these honorables get cash or anything from the government. So these are projects and they are contractors and all that.
Okay.
So, and I can tell you categorically for the second batch, about 250 people, youth and women, would be, as at this time tomorrow, would be getting their cash grants, because these 250 people were trained on different vocational skills as at the time we had the mega empowerment.
Okay.
And by this time tomorrow, I can assure you that majority of them must have gotten their cash grants.
250 people.
250 of them.
So where would that be happening?
It would be happening in Roshawe Estate in Ahmadiyya.
Okay.
Here in our Ifako.
So these 250 people, do they know themselves?
Yes, many of them, because we trained them last year, many of them have been reached out to. Like I mentioned, we have the liaison officers. So we have reached out to them, used the words and all that. And some of them have been contacted, SMS have been sent, because we have the database. So we don't just go ahead, we have the database of these 250 people who participated in the training. And they have been contacted.
And there is an assurance that there won't be another story tomorrow when these people appear.
I am saying it's here, on here. And I can assure you that even the process of handing over the cash grant will be televised. So it will be online, it will be everywhere. It's something that can be verified.
It's all right. We'll be back. Let's go on this shorter music break.
She talk, say time no day aside, yo. Say for her work, they quick, they dark, yo. And I go love her till I die, go. But our hearts don't turn to stone. The man say market no dey sell. Everything he cost, he passed before. But our governor, he fight, he passed before. One day, my turn will come to chop. The politician say know the truth. Say nobody won't hear the truth. Take power, take bulletproof, buy properties overseas. No, we create the world. No, we create the world. We the pointy finger at each other, but no, we create the world. And they like to take my time, but I dey waste the people time. My plan is good, my method harsh, so everybody they talk say I too do. They always they like to save yourself to avoid the mistake of the past. You know they ever fit forget the people wait for your hand before. No, be you create yourself. No, be me create myself. We the pointy finger.
All right, we are still live on Ifako Radio, and the program is Feedback, and we're getting feedback from the office of the MHR Member House of Representatives, Honorable Benjamin Adeyemi Olabejo, and we have here in the studio Mr. Sheyi Ajan, the PA to the MHR. What is the relationship of the MHR and the political parties within its constituency?
The MHR has a very, very good relationship, a very good rapport, So we also ensure that as much as we are taking care of the people, which is the primary assignment of the MHR, it also ensures that the party which he represents, he must also relate to them and also ensure that he takes care of some of their needs. But the people of Ifako-Ijaiye are the major responsibility of its primary.
So, talking about the party that sponsored it, there was this rumor that made around the year, sometimes back, that there were promises from his office, and he failed to relate on those promises. Most importantly, as it has to do with cash, that he gave his verbal pledge of doing something quarterly, and he defaulted. How do you react?
He made promises, yes, that to give the party a certain amount of cash quarterly, right? But if you know this, many of these things are not. The legislator is not, these things are not protected sometimes. There are issues here and there trying to sort out so many, pressing constituency issues. Like I mentioned earlier, the people of Ifako-Ijaiye are the primary responsibility. But I can assure you that as at this time last week, he's been able to meet that promise, even though he had not fully fulfilled, partially. But I can assure you that before the end of this month, like he has promised, he made a promise to fulfill the promise in entirety by the end of September. Trust that he will be able to do that.
End of September is
It's just a few days from now. Yes, I can. A lot can still happen between now and the 30th.
So we should take your words for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about the challenges of the office. Are there any challenges?
It's a lot, honestly, and so the challenges of it's a lot, but then it is the job that he has signed up for. He's not complaining about it, but unlike just like any other job, there are challenges, but we have signed up for it, and he's taking it one step at a time, ensuring that he's taking care of those things.
I can see that because you're also looking good. That's like the challenges you maintain Nevertheless, a lot of people will find that taking care of the people is not really the duties of the legislator, but it's the strength of the legislator is in the bills sponsored and the results gotten in the long run. Are there bills sponsored? How many bills has been sponsored so far, and what should be the expectations of the constituents of his federal constituency?
Okay, thank you very much. If you remember, while I was speaking earlier, I said the basic responsibility of a legislator is to legislate, you know, to make laws, to propose laws. You understand? And like I mentioned, so there are two things: motions, views. And like I mentioned, less than 3 months after they were sworn in, he moved the motion for the rehabilitation of Lagos Abeokuta Expressway. If you remember, from Abule down to Songo, which today has been fixed. You know, the records are there. And as of today, he has about 3 bills, which all have scaled the first reading. We are hoping that before the end of the year, these bills will also, you know, scale the second reading. And one of these bills, one of them is there is a bill for the establishment of a federal medical center in Ifako-Ijaiye here, right? Another is to establish a federal college of nursing and midwifery. Another, yes, also here in Ifako-Ijaiye. Wow. Another is to establish a college of entrepreneurial and vocational studies. Seriously? Here in Ifako-Ijaiye. Now, if you look at these 3 bills, now aside establishing the schools and bringing so much traffic also to Ifako-Ijaiye, because when these schools are, when these bills scale through and are approved by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria or are passed into law, you know, it would also bring about traffic, people from everywhere down to our Ifako-Ijaiye. Aside that, it is also going to create employment, both direct and indirect employment. So when these bills are passed into law, let's say, for example, the Federal Medical Center is, you know, has been approved, and upon establishment, there will be vacancies. Our people can benefit from it. These are the direct employment. When you also talk about the indirect employment, you look at those who are not even on the payroll of this institution, those who are vendors, those who are, you know, selling, those who are trading. You know, these are forms of indirect employment. You know, so we are hoping that these bills will scale through and will be passed into law by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And we are very, very optimistic that, you know, a lot is coming to the people of Ifako-Ijaiye. I can assure you.
All right. Talking about projects that has been done, do you mind enumerating some, and are they verified?
Yes, I can assure you that if you go to if you go to the secondary schools, I mentioned that a 6-block classroom was built in Ijaiye's Junior College in Ojokoro, right? There are over 400 streetlights. You can check. These informations are online. They are verifiable. When you also check, like I mentioned, the Lagos Abeokuta also have been done. Street lights have been done, both in streets, schools, secondary schools, and police stations. You know, we want to ensure that, you know, security is enhanced in the entire Ifako-Ijaiye. Basically, we're also ensuring that empowerment, like I mentioned, the MHR is all about empowering the people and ensuring that the people have enough, the people are able to eat, the people are able to, you know, take care of themselves. That is one major area that the MHR is focusing.
All right. Aside from street lights and the road network, the major one on Ojokoro,
yes,
are there other ones on the pipeline? Some people will tell you we don't need a street light, we need a borehole, we need this and that.
If you check, there are lots of plans that the MHR has, but because if you look at the federal government also, as at today, as at yesterday, federal government was just talking about implementing capital expenditure in the 2025 budget. So as of this moment, the what the federal government is still working on is still on the 2024 budget. If you remember when the president came to present the budget of 2025, the 2024 budget was extended to June.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot of 2025 projects that has not even started, that implementation has not even started as at this moment.
Wow.
Also, while I was mentioning projects, if you go to Iju in Ifako, there is a solar borehole system that has been
Solar
erected.
powered.
Yes, solar powered borehole system that has been, and then another one in Ojokoro, because if you check Ifako-Ijaiye federal constituency consists of two local governments, Ifako local government and Ojokoro. So many times when the honorable wants to do something, he ensures that equal, yes, it's balanced. So if I'm bringing 200 to Ifako local government, he ensures that the same is done in Ojokoro local government.
Okay. What is it called? Some people also find that this second phase or second batch of this empowerment is coming because of the political heat. People are warming up already for another term, trying to approach the people, most especially the political class, to solicit support for another term. I won't be asking you if your principal is interested in another term. I won't be asking you that question. But this second batch that is coming now, is it not to lure people to gather support for another time?
Okay, like
Why is it coming now?
Okay, like I mentioned, that there are so many 2024 projects, even from the federal government, that have not been attended to. So many of these projects are being attended to in phases, So we were expecting, if you remember, there were two of them. So I mentioned that the first batch of cash empowerment had been taken care of earlier in the year. And this one only just came up. And immediately he came in, the MHR said he instructed that everybody should be given their money. In fact, he said that he wants to be present, unlike the first, he wants to be present when people will be handed their money. He doesn't want anybody to come and say, oh, you're not long perform, that they did not receive. He wants to be on ground and ensure that everybody is handed their money. So, like I mentioned, by this time tomorrow, 250 people, I'm sure, will be smiling and be singing.
If 250 people are taken care of from the constituents of the Ifako-Ijaiye, how soon or how regular should we be expecting such? I hope 250 people will not just collect theirs and that will be all now, because if you look at the ratio of the population of the local government, it is very far from it. So should we expect it?
So when I say 250 people are benefited from the first batch, okay, also, plus this 250, this is making 500. And I can tell you that the records are there. We can send it, we can share it with you if you want to post, so that people can say, I can assure you, or I can confirm to you that as of today, over 1,000 people in Ifako-Ijaiye federal constituency has been empowered since the MHR was sworn in the year 2020.
All right, I will go on this music break, and we'll also be back. God's willing.
She talk, say time no dey aside, yo. Say for her work, they quick, they dark, yo. And I go love her till I die, yo. But our hearts turn to stone. The man say market no dey sell. Every Everything he cost, he passed before. But our governor, he fight, he passed before. One day, my turn will come to chop. The politicians say him know the truth. Say nobody won't hear the truth. He take power, take bulletproof. Buy properties overseas. No, we create the world. No, we create the world. We the pointy finger at each other, but no, we create the world. And they like to take my time, but I dey waste the people time. My plan is good, my method harsh, so everybody they talk say I too do. They always they like to save yourself to avoid the mistake of the past. You know they ever fit forget the people wait for your hand before. No, you create yourself. No, we create myself. We the pointy finger at each other, but no, we create the world. Everybody wants something. Everybody don't forget. Say now our word and now our
Yes, everybody wants something, and it is a word, despite the fact that it wasn't created by us. We still have Mr. Sheyi Azan in the studio with us, the PA of Honorable Benjamin Adeyemi or Labinjo, member House of Representatives, Ifako-Ijaiye Federal Constituency. The House at the moment is on recess. When is the resumption?
The House resumed on September. That's next Tuesday.
Okay. But so many people will still say, the MHR is not accessible. How do you react to this?
I really don't understand what. I really don't understand the reason. I think.
Okay, will you say
This
MHR is
you know,
accessible?
this MHR is one. Remember, like I said again, we categorize him as an angel that was sent. If you check, this is somebody who does not even have a gate in his house. This is somebody whose fence is.
How could that be possible?
This is somebody whose fence I am taller than. This is somebody who sits outside his house, and people who come around we always sit out and gist and talk about it. Somebody who likes to have people around him. And so I really do not understand when they say the MHR is not. This is somebody that, in fact, some of us who work with him are even surprised that why are you always this accessible? Some of us look at him as being too accessible. It's somebody that you can call, just anybody can call in and say, sir, I need this, I need that. And I know he does for anyone who calls him. So he's a very, very accessible person. I really, I don't want us to go into the politics of, so he's a very, very accessible person.
So you're saying if I pick up my phone now and I call him?
100%.
All right. Has it been able to balance relationship between the major religious sects? Some politicians discriminate. If he or she is a Muslim or a Christian, we want to have cordiality with his own faith. How has it been faring in that regard?
Honorable Abinjo is an apostle. He's a Christian, an apostle. But despite being an apostle, an ordained apostle, despite being ordained apostle, it still ensures that there is a balance. When you come to, when you look at during the time of the Eid al-Fitr, you know, the Muslim community was taken care of 100%. I can confirm to you, I think about 600,000 were donated to those who celebrated the Eid al-Fitr. And even
And that is verifiable.
that is verifiable. If you go online, these things are everywhere. You can reach out to the Muslim community. They would confirm what I'm telling you. You know, during during Salah also, you know, he also reached out to the Muslim community, which I can confirm to you. I think we used the word structure during that Salah celebration. And also during Easter this year, you would also go and you can also verify that the Muslim community was also taking care of the same thing that the Muslims got during the Eid al-Fitr celebration. He ensures that there is a balance. So there is no, because he's a Christian, he does for the Christians more. The same way he hosted a lecture during the Ramadan, you know, fasting period.
Really?
He also hosted the Christians during the Lenten period. You know, so he ensures that there is
Is that the
balance.
usual routine?
Yes, that is the usual routine. This is what happens every year. This is also verifiable. You can also go online and check. You know, it's there. It's everywhere. It's not hidden.
Okay. Those that are contested against him, most especially within his political party, that's the All Progressive Congress. How will you describe his relationship with them?
I wouldn't want to go into that politics, but I can also confirm to you here today that he still has a good relationship. You know, especially when there are anything coming to the people, he still reaches out to them. To, you know, he still extends a hand of fellowship to these people. He doesn't look at it that, oh, he is the one in power or he's the one in office now, and then neglects them. He still tries to, you know, bring them together, and just they have a very good relationship. Aside, you know what the politics is. You know, so,
Mr. Ijaiye, this is a political question, and I won't want you to shy away from it. Recently, we gathered that, yes, he is representing this federal constituency, but maybe in the nearest future, we want to switch to another constituency, probably outside the Lagos State. You are his personal assistant. You can't tell the good people of Ifako-Ijaiye that you won't have any information about that.
I don't. I can confirm to you that I don't know anything of such. I don't think there is anything of such that he is considering at the moment. I don't think there is anything of such, which I can confirm to you 100%.
But it was also reported that he took care of some people outside this constituency. They went to another state, benefited from a particular empowerment that was meant for another people entirely.
Okay, so you're putting me on the spot. Okay, but that's fine. So what happened then was, like you mentioned also, the people of Ifako-Ijaiye benefited. The people of Ifako-Ijaiye benefited, you know. So there was an empowerment program that was happening somewhere that he got wind of at that time, and he was like,
Did he just say he got wind of it?
wind of it.
Because that was an indication to some people that, yes, this man, this is his base, and he's taking care of people here. Probably
he got wind of it. He wasn't even the one who organized it. He got wind of it, and then he used his good office to ensure that he influences. Because if you remember, I mentioned it earlier that he always says it that empowerment can never be too much for his people. So when he saw that opportunity, he said that my people must also benefit from this.
Wow.
And then you can imagine somebody
outside his constituency.
Outside, not even just outside his constituency, outside the state, to, you know, go and to ensure that his people are empowered. I think this person deserves a round of applause. This is something that should be applauded for even going outside. He saw an opportunity outside his federal constituency, and he took it to ensure that his people are empowered. You also mentioned it, that people benefited from it. It wasn't like he took it for
Yes, they
himself.
benefited, but it appeared to some that he was doing something elsewhere, and
He wasn't the one who organized that program, but he ensured that because he had the opportunity to influence
so
it,
we can say he
ensure
lobbied again.
he lobbied and ensured that his people benefited from it. And again, I feel like this person should be applauded for a good job.
And those that benefited, were they not some selected few that happen to be his own allies?
They are not just like I've mentioned to you that whenever there is any project or any empowerment program to come, we don't just look at those who are closest to him. These are people that we have the structure. We have the structure that we use in selecting the beneficiaries for empowerment, and which I've rightly mentioned.
All right. During the months ahead, or should we say years ahead, what should we expect?
Let us keep our fingers crossed. Like I mentioned about implementation of 2025 appropriation. So let's keep fingers crossed. I can assure you again that the MHR has a lot of stuff. The empowerment program that we saw in 2024 was just the tip of the iceberg. I can tell you that what is coming is even bigger and better. I can assure you 100%.
We are going to take you up on these words.
You can take me up on it.
All right. On the final note, how will you describe Honorable Benjamin Adeyemi Olabijo, aside from you referring to him as an angel?
I would also still call him an angel, because he's someone who has the best interest of the people around him, not just his closest people. You remember I mentioned earlier, this is somebody who comes and sits outside his house. He wants people to come and just wants to see people doing well. Also, I did not mention earlier, during these 2 years and 3 months in office, he's been able to facilitate job employment for over 30 people that I
From this constituency?
From this constituency, we check the Air Force, Navy. Just last week, I got a call from some people who also helped to facilitate customs, and we are hoping that in coming days, there are some that we are also still expecting. These are federal employments, federal civil service,
Wow.
also in Lagos State. I can confirm to you that if a number of people from Ifako-Ijaiye, this constituency, have also been able to benefit from, some of them are also working with Lagos State Teaching Service at the moment, and all of these are being facilitated by Honorable Benjamin Adeyemi Olabijo.
All right, Mr. Sheyi, we want to thank you for being a part of feedback on Ifako Radio, and we want to say a special thank you for honoring our invitation. And I want to believe the good people of Ifako-Ijaiye has been fed with necessary information, and hopefully, when we call on you, you will also akin to invite subsequently. Our special regards to the MHR himself. Tell him we are taking you up on your words come the nearest future, because this thing is on record, and we hope that keep serving high, God's willing. So we'll be drawing the curtain at this juncture. It's been a wonderful session, and the guest has been Mr. Sheyi Azan, the personal assistant to the MHR of Ifako-Ijaiye Federal Constituency, Honorable Benjamin Adeyemi Olabijo. And we hope to be here another time when there's a feedback from your office or whichever political office. So for those that have been part of today's program, we say big thank you. The producer, Lanre Ibrahim, that's Western Blessing, and ID Anastasia, we say thank you so much. So see you some other time. I am yours truly, Lanre Bishop, the mayor of Lagos City.
She talk say time no dey aside yo. Say for her work they quick they die yo. And I go love her till I die yo. But our hearts don't turn to stone. The man say market no dey sell. Everything he cost he pass before. But our